Hi, and welcome back to my channel. We're going to talk about wrinkled skin and how to apply foundation today. So whether you're doing makeup on yourself or your mom or your grandma or your great-grandma, or whether you're a makeup artist and you're having to work on older clients and you just don't have experience yet, let's dive straight in. We're going to start with clean, dry skin. Much of what we're going to talk about is not going to seem like it's going to have anything to do with foundation, but perhaps the most important part of applying foundation to mature skin is going to be your skin prep. Now, this is going to be simple, but we're going to pack the skin with hydration. The best way to start this is with a milky toner or an essence. I like to apply this straight out of the shower as soon as I dry my face. And that way we're sealing in the hydration. I'm using a milky toner by Anua. It's very lightweight, almost like water. And even though it's very thin, it provides intense moisture with a blend of rice water, niacinamide, and ceramides. The rice water is hydrating, brightening, and soothing to the skin. Niacinamide has anti-inflammatory properties and controls oils and improves the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. Ceramides help maintain the skin's natural barrier. Once the milky toner is dry, we're going to apply a hydrating serum. Again, I'm using the one by Anua. This is the Rice Ceramide 7 Hydrating Barrier Serum. I've been using this set on and off for months, and I really enjoy it. It's soothing and hydrating. It supports skin barrier repair. It controls sebum and oil, but it's also very hydrating. And honestly, I don't even feel like you really need an eye cream with this. That's kind of why I chose it for today. It's a great set, and it's so simple. Once that serum has been pressed into the skin and it's dried down, we're ready for the moisturizing milk. I know it's super hard to not rub products into your skin. I do it all the time, but really what we need to be doing is pressing it into our skin. Pressing serums and creams into the skin rather than rubbing them helps the products penetrate deeper into the layers. By the way, if you're enjoying this, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and make sure your notifications are turned on. It's really important to allow everything to soak in. Press it into the skin, and then that last layer, you can press it in also, but you want to give it a few minutes to just work its magic before you put any makeup on. Now that we've created a smooth, bouncy, hydrated base, the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles are minimized, and the makeup can now go on smoothly and evenly. I'm going to use the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation today. Regardless of what you decide to use, we don't want anything that's thick. Thin foundations tend to be easier to spread, and they also tend to flex more with the skin. We definitely want something that moves with the face and stretches with the skin when we smile and make expressions. A few of my favorite foundations from cheapest to most expensive would be the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation in Dewy. Then the Maybelline Fit Me in Dewy and Smooth. The number 7 Lift and Illuminate Triple Action. L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation with sunscreen, the one that I'm wearing right now, and the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizers. They come in matte and dewy. If you're inside the US and you're shopping with me today, please check the link on screen for products. And for everyone else, I'll put a list in the description. One thing we didn't talk about during skin prep was sunscreen, and I apologize because I glazed over that without a second thought because I'm using a foundation that has sunscreen in it. So if you're not wearing a foundation that has a high SPF, then you need to make sunscreen the last step in your skin prep. Now, I use my fingers at first and then a brush just to show you how versatile that makeup is. It just looks good no matter how you put it on. But once you put it on, just like we did with the serums, we want to press it into the skin. Pressing it into the skin with fingers or a sponge gives it that second skin effect. We don't want it to look like the foundation is sitting on top of the skin. We want it to look like the skin and the foundation are one. Using a dry sponge the way I am also removes excess makeup. So there's minimal, if any, makeup sitting in fine lines waiting to crease. What if you want more coverage? We'll do the same steps and we'll apply a little bit more just in the areas that you want. For me, that's mainly going to be the center of my face. While I add more foundation for a full coverage look, let's talk about setting. First of all, we've already done one setting method, and that was pressing the foundation into the skin. But if you're doing makeup for an outdoor event in the summertime, or you perspire a lot, I highly recommend using a setting spray. The best setting spray, in my opinion, is by Skindinavia, and you can find it on that link on screen. I like their setting spray the best because they use cooling technology in it. and I live in a hot swamp in the summertime. It doesn't matter if you're in an outdoor concert in the middle of summer, all of your makeup will stay in place. Alternatively, you can, of course, use a setting powder. My two favorites are the Laura Mercier Ultra Blur and the L'Oreal Blurfection. They are also on that link. Let's go ahead and finish this look so you can see how it looks with a little bit of powder on as well. I'm using the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand Contour, and this is in the color Fair Light. Okay, let's talk about this blush. This is the Sigma Blush Cheek Palette. It's got 4 beautiful matte colors that will fit just about everybody, and then 2 colors that have just a little bit of shimmer in them. These are incredibly blendable, very smooth on the skin, so much so that I've actually used them for eyeshadow and they look fabulous. Now I'm going to use that darker color, it's called Spiced, and I'm going to apply it over my contour and blend it into where my blush is. I don't know how they make this stuff, but it's just so thin and it layers so well and it never looks bad in my crow's feet. After I get this color where I want it and enough of it in place, I'm going to show you how I would set this in place with my L'Oreal Infallible Blurfection. We're just going to get a tiny little bit and use a tiny little bit at a time because that's all it's going to take. Now this will do a couple of things. This is a setting powder, so it's going to hold the makeup in place a lot longer. This one actually claims up to 24 hours, and I've used it up to 12 hours, and it just looked fabulous. But this also does a couple of other things. It has that blurring in it, so it also acts like a finishing powder. So it's going to give a slight airbrushed look, and it's going to make things like large pores, or if you have a shine on your, foundation that you don't like, it's going to get rid of that. The lipstick that I'm wearing is a Caviar Smoothing Lipstick by Laura Mercier in the color Blush Chenille. Keeping it super simple with a one color shimmer shadow. This is the Caviar Eye Stick by Laura Mercier in the color Soiree. A little brown liquid liner by Prime Prometics. e.l.f. Lash Extender Mascara. And my French Face Concealer in the color Fair Peach. If you go to the very end, which is only a few more seconds, you can see how this looked in the natural sunlight. A lot of the makeup techniques and looks that we see are just stage makeup. They really don't look good in natural lighting. And while I also think that those looks are a lot of fun to create, it's really important to distinguish between what looks good in natural light and what is actually fantasy. I guarantee you're not going to want to miss anything that I've got coming up soon, so make sure you're subscribed and your notifications are set to on. Now remember, at any age, the most radiant thing you can wear is your smile and your confidence. Thanks for spending this time with me, and here's to feeling fabulous at every age. Thanks for watching.